This Facebook and Instagram is down today. I'm sure you guys know, but I do have this sharing on Facebook. I don't know if it's actually going to be showing, but I can check real quick. And then I'm also streaming on YouTube as well. So give me 1 second while I check and see if my Facebook page is streaming. It doesn't seem to be, but I will check back a little bit later. So what we're dealing with today, it's going to be real simple. Just the other day, I happened to catch a show that I never watched, which was a show that most of you know, a brother named Sadnetta, basically a police informant who has a show. He's the leader, I would consider the leader of COINTELPRO in modern days and times. And what I'm going to do, there was a brother on there that I used to actually, both of the brothers that are debating were at once very close friends of mine. And I hadn't spoke to Deshon Way, used to go by Lord Abba, for several years, probably since 2016, 2017, 2016 probably. And Enqi, probably just as long. But that being said, my name came up. I wrote some comments in there, just elucidating some facts. And your boy Deshon got a little bit out of character. He got rubbed the wrong way. And, he said some things. So I'm just going to address them, give y'all the facts. Okay. So, because he was on there lying. Let me just say this. All right. So Deshon Way, he identifies as a descendant of a slave. Okay. He used to be in the Moorish Science Temple of America, used to claim to be a Moorish American. He even on the show said he's still a Moor, but a Moor is not a descendant of a slave. So you say that you're not black, Deshon, but you self-identify as a descendant of a slave. Well, let's look at what it says in our lessons. In chapter 47 of the Holy Quran and the Moorish Science Temple of America, our lessons teach us that in 47:10, what your ancient forefathers were, you are today without doubt or contradiction. So if your forefathers were slaves, you're a slave today without doubt or contradiction. And there is no one who was able to change man from the descendant nature of his forefathers unless his power extends beyond the great universal creator Allah himself. And you ain't got that, brother. So you choose to be a slave, you are a slave. And this is basically what the prophet was talking about when he said, if you lose what is it? Actually, I got it right here. I don't want to mess up the quote. Let me see. If you lose confidence in your prophet or your temple, please turn in your card, your button, and cease wearing your turban or fez, and return to the place where I, the prophet, found you. And that's exactly what's happening with this brother. He has returned to the place where he once was as a slave, a Negro. So, according to the Negro law of South Carolina, the term Negro, because I want to break this down a little bit more, is confined to the enslaved African, right? So if he's a descendant of a slave, he's obviously a Negro. And what it goes on to say in chapter 1, section 4, is that the term slave does not embrace the free inhabitants of Africa, i.e. the Moors, the Egyptians, and the so-called Black Asiatics. Okay. Like I told you, I'm going to be here just for a moment, but I'm coming strong, and I'm just going to go ahead and, deal with these lies, right? So let me elucidate it a little bit more. The English words black, Spanish equivalent is the word Negro. So black and Negro are the same word in different tongues or different languages. In the Spanish language, Negro is an adjective, a descriptor, a description. However, when used in a colloquial sense as slang in reference to an African or a Moor, the meaning of the word Negro changes to mean slave. I'll give you an example. Masculine or feminine noun for black man or black woman, which would be negro or negra. You can use a sentence like trabajar como un negro. And what that means is to work like a slave. Okay. The proper designation for Moors in Spanish is moreno, not negro or negro. Okay. According to Light and Truth by Robert Benjamin Lewis, the term Negro was used by the Moors to describe a black object or animal, right? So Light and Truth is it's collected from the Bible and ancient sources and modern history by Robert Benjamin Lewis. And so on pages 339 and 340, it informs us that Negro is derived from the Latin term Niger, meaning black. Niger, a Latin word, was formerly used by the Moors, the Old Romans, to designate any black inferior object, plant, a marsh, flat, moist, ground, bog, or animal. Okay, let me just look at the time. I got some meetings coming up. Give me 1 second, family. Hey, Vince, give me 5 minutes. I'm going to call you right back, okay? All right, I'm correct. So, at the Moorish Science Temple of America, we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, and they may know that they are a part and partial of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders. Okay, so again, if you are claiming to be a descendant of the slave, you're a black, you're a Negro. That's fine. You made a claim that I was your assistant Grand Sheik. I was actually the assistant Grand Sheik of the temple that I helped you build. Okay, so if you're watching this, you got to tell the truth if somebody asks you about this. I helped you build that temple up to over 300 members, in fact. Another story for another time. And the only reason I held down that position is because the previous assistant Grand Sheik was on live smoking blunts, sending penis pictures to sisters in the temple. Okay. Not to mention a whole host of other things. But that's just what it is. So not only that, I was also the chairman. So I was holding two positions, chairman, assistant Grand Sheik. And as the chairman, and I'm going to show you what it says in Act 1 regarding the chairman and the assistant Grand Sheik. So don't never try to play me or downplay me, because you know what it is. And anybody in the movement knows what it is. Act 1, the Grand Sheik and the chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America is empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the prophet and the grand body. The Moorish Science Temple of America, the assistant Grand Sheik, is to assist the Grand Sheik in all affairs if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And it is known before the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. And that's exactly what I did. In addition to trying to keep you out of depression, despair, every other day, you're depressed about something, whining about something else. Somebody called you this name. Sharif said this. Who cares? You're a grown man, bro. Or maybe not, but you definitely don't act like one. But in addition to that, I also taught you how to eat. You wanted to be vegan, so I had to give you the science, show you what to do, how to eat, what to eat, right? So who's student? Okay. That's the question. And in fact, you claimed I was your student, right? And it's true that I learned some things from you, but I would never call you my teacher. I actually have bona fide master teachers in my life, one being Dr. Mark Armstrong, OMD, Oriental Medical Doctor, naturopathic doctor, opened the first acupuncture school in Georgia. I was the first attendee of that university, the first graduate of that university. Don't ever try to play me, bro. My pedigree, you already know what it is. Okay, don't act like you don't know. In addition to that, Nganga Mfudishi Tolona is also one of my grandmaster teachers. If you don't know who that is, look him up. You might learn something. His top student was also my teacher before he became my teacher, because he sent me to him, and his name was Grandmaster Kijara Vita. Anybody know who Baba Vita is? No? You should probably look it up. It's going to be a movie coming out about him pretty soon. You'll have plenty of reference from there. Also, Sifu Jeff Larson, the first and oldest Enter the Gate disciple of Sifu Henry Puyi, our grandmaster who was passed a few years ago. I am also an Enter the Gate disciple of Master Jeff Larson, Sifu Jeff Larson. So I don't know what you're talking about, but allow me to clarify for the record how I cleared your name from being what is known as a self-proclaimed Grand Sheik. The brother that made you a Sheik, Brother Heru Reniciel, had denied you for years, brother. So don't try to act funny, because I'm about to air you out. Okay. So this is what happened. So I went out of my way to even after you left the temple and the movement to get a brother on Moorish World TV. So we got him on Moorish World TV. The brother came on and admitted publicly that he made you a sheep, which I then provided you the golden opportunity to come on the show and clear up any other confusion that may be still on the table that needs to be addressed. But at that point, you're going to come back to the temple. So that's why I set this up, because I negotiated with Bailey Ill, Edwards Ill, and Barnes Bay, honors to the elder, for you to become a Grand Governor of Georgia, as I was acting chairman of Temple 16, and Barnes Bay was the current Grand Governor of Georgia under the Bailey Ill administration. At that time, which you were excited about, but proceeded to fumble that opportunity, brother. Like every other opportunity you've had, you fumbled it. As well as being stubborn and a crybaby, you refused to simply call the current governor of Georgia just to give him directions, because you felt like the brother should be calling you. I mean, bro, it's so typical of you. Now, as I said, I will admit I learned a few things from you, but in all honesty, I really studied you and your research. But I also studied Sharif Anael Bey. I studied Ishmael Bey, Wesley Muhammad, Dana Marnichi, and a host of others. So you're not special, bro. The only thing you actually taught me is what not to do, how not to lead, how not to cry every time somebody calls you a name, especially publicly. I mean, what are you doing? How not to parent or husband, how not to debate, more science especially. All you got to do is ask the myth maker. Some of you know him as Ali Scam Muhammad, aka Marcus Counts, the shape-shifting Temple quarterback impersonator with fake degrees from Temple, and also how not to destroy relationships in general. So let me give you props, though. You are a good researcher. You made some very informative videos that I think did a service for the movement. And I'd like to say that you also are a great intelligence gatherer, very FBI-like, if you ask me, always recording phone conversations. It's a very alphabet boy vibe. You know what I mean? One of my best or my favorite recording that you sent me was probably Shaka Atmos. That one was great. But I digress. I mean, I even tried to give you one of my extras after your wife repeatedly cheated on you. I even brought you to her house, got her to let you stay there a couple of days after you expressed interest in the sister. And you didn't even make a move. And I told you what to do. That's just lame, bro. Like, I know people don't know this, but now, you said something, they got to know. What else? What else I want to deal with? Let me look at my notes. Oh, this was the funniest part. Brother got real excited. Told me to bring my punk ass up there. I'm like, where? You all bark, bro. Like, you do not want the sword of justice to pull up on you. You don't. Okay? Not you, Mr. Slave Descendant. You know what I do. You know my background. Don't play with yourself. That's not a smart move, bro. Plus, like, I just know too much. Like, it's just the wrong move, bro. And then you're on there, you're acting, playing like you're a tough guy, right? But did you tell the people when you had something that you wanted to say to me after after your horrible demonstration on Morris World TV? Uh, what'd you do? You had Grimion L call me. Like, who does that? A grown man? Oh, can you call him for me and ask him why? Bro, you've had my number for years. I've known you for 15 years. You couldn't call me and ask me? So who's really the punk? That's what I want to know. Because, bro, I'll pull up and you know you don't want it. But anyway, last but not least, uh, we don't want, nor do we need, your attention mongering lurking around the movement, okay? Which is pseudo representing the Moors from the sidelines or defending Prophet Noble Drew Ali's concepts, platforms, and teachings. We don't need you. We don't want you. Go on about your business. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive the reward from Allah and their unjust deed. All true Moors will and must obey the law that is laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in the prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turban of fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. Now go crawl back into your little slave descendant hole and whine to your cheerleaders. With that said, I say peace. Please share this if you know Deshon Way, if you know Grimion L, if you know Ali Bey, send this out. Peace.